Thank you, Governor. Tom Hirsig with Cheyenne Frontier Days, CEO of Cheyenne Frontier Days. I was asked by this group of prestigious Wyoming rodeos to act as a spokesman to talk about the process we went through to get to this point. I consider this to be a great honor, as I have gotten to know this group of people very well over the last 6 weeks, and their passion for this event is beyond compare. We first would like to thank the governor for his passion for rodeo and all the events that go along with it, and the time he committed to trying to work a resolve to have these events this summer. There is no doubt the governor loves the sport of rodeo and considers it our state sport. This whole situation reminds me of being a child in my room, seeing the closet door cracked open, knowing there's no such thing as monsters, but not walking over and just throwing the door wide open, maybe slightly, opening the door gradually just to make sure. My family has been a part of CFD since the day it started. I have been here every year since I was born. My sister was lady in waiting and was tragically killed in a car wreck soon after that. My story is not unlike many of the people that work or volunteer to put these amazing events on. They put their hearts and souls into every one of these celebrations. Most of the leaders in this events are volunteers and spend many hours planning their events. This was not the season they were hoping for, but true to form, they stepped up. When the goings get tough, they get going. All their planning will go unrecognized this year, but hopefully in each community, they will be thanked for their hard work and effort. They deserve at least that. The process we took as a group started six weeks ago and was talking about all the components of our events with the governor to understand the parameters under which our event components could operate. We worked hard as a group, brainstorming and trying to come up with solutions. It became very clear to all of us that some of the components of each of our events logistically cannot take place with respect to social distancing. For example, parades, carnivals, Indian villages, street dances, beer gardens, concerts, all are very successful because of the lack of social distancing. It creates excitement and leaves the fans wanting to come back for more. It is entertainment for all ages, 1 to 100. Sheridan with no parade, Laramie with no street dance, Casper with no carnival. Each celebration has its own components that make them special. These events have worked for years to build these incredible brands that are iconic, not only in our state, but nationwide, and some worldwide. There is only one way to build your events, and that's to make them bigger and better every year, so that people leave saying, I can't wait for next year. When you consider social distancing eliminating many of your core pieces of your event becomes very common. And having those splintered events can set you back from where it took many of us over 100 years to get to where we are. There were many factors outside the health parameters that also played into this decision, from sponsorship to availability of volunteers. We not only have concerns for volunteers, spectators, and contestants' health, but also recognize the possible lack of participation from our great volunteer workforce in 2020. They are the keys to producing all of these events. Many of our volunteers are part of that at-risk population or have family members that are part of that population. Many have said, we are behind you whatever you do, but I may not be able to help you this year. More importantly, they are part of our family, and risking their health is not something we are willing to do. Besides providing community entertainment, the mission of all these great events is to provide an economic impact to their communities. This has always been the case. This will be sorely missed impact to not only the communities, but the entire state of Wyoming. One of the worst things we could do would be to cause our state to go backwards in the recovery process, to shut down businesses that had just reopened because we caused another outbreak. This would go entirely against our mission. Sponsorship of these events is maybe the most important financial impact to having successful events. Many of our sponsors are hurting already because how this has affected aspects of our economy. It would truly be a struggle for some to support these events in the same fashion they have in prior years. All of these events are going to suffer a financial loss just by canceling. Some have spent large amounts of dollars trying to get to this point. But delaying a decision would result in more money being spent to promote your event without a guarantee that it could take place. The closer you get, the more you spend. Cowboys, cowgirls, stock contractors, announcers, etc., all parts of our rodeo family are struggling, and we need to pray for them in these tough times. Know that we will return. We also have vendors, concessionaires, carnival operators, and many more that depend on these events. We are entertainment planners, not health specialists, unlike most everyone on Facebook today. We rely on our state officials to give us guidance to our events. We appreciate their time and the job that they must take on. We do not envy any of their decisions they have to make, as they all are met with controversy one way or another. We all sat in a room, be it a Zoom room, listened and respected what they had to say, and came to a decision. We may not like the way that it all turned out, but we left the meeting shaking hands, virtually, with no animosity, because that is the way we do business in the state of Wyoming. Thank you, Governor, and your staff. And personally, I want to thank this great group of individuals that put on these events. Not only the ones that are in this room, but the thousands of volunteers across the state that give so much. Please take time in your community to thank these people. Offer them encouragement for next year, because we're all going to need that. Thank you.